Good morning, everybody. This is Mark. We're back here for the morning call. It is Friday. So we have the jobless numbers today. Unemployment down a little bit. Non-farm payroll up a little bit. Nothing earth-shattering, but the market has gapped up. I don't know if it's the fact of maybe, more push into what Romney did on Wednesday night, or the fact of the unemployment's down a little bit. We'll see. Either way, I don't think it mattered so much. Commentary was that as such, that it seemed like we were just heading higher regardless. And, my thesis has been that we're heading higher into the election regardless. What happens dealing with the ebbs and flows. So this morning we're almost gapped up to the highs on the spiders. Is there going to be resistance? With a gap up like this, it might take a little more time after a decent day, yesterday and the day before. So overall, guys, I'm still bullish. I just think you got to keep rotating. One of the leadership banks have regained leadership pretty nicely. You can even just see it with the FAS. You could have got them, as low as 104, 104 a few days ago, and this morning it's around 115. So that's a nice travel range for the FAS. Goldman Sachs leading the charge, but then you have JP Morgan, trying to break out of above 42.
I would like to invite.
Maybe it's there this morning. I'm not quite sure. Bank of America, again, at $9 was the buy. Should get an easy move to seems like to 10. I'm not really involved with the banks. I probably should be, but they still look good. With a gap up like this, you might want to take a breather or take some off. We'll have to wait and see how they trade. The Apple Google high beta show. Apple still basically living in a descending channel that eventually will work itself to the upside, but I think it's still taking trades. 660 to 664 is the area I would probably look at a buy again. 670, 672 is probably the area I would look to take some trades off the board. At some point it will resolve out of there. Right now it hasn't done it yet. I don't think it's going to for the next few days. Best in breed, Google. Plain and simple. It's coming out with earnings next Thursday. Does it ramp up before earnings? And then we'll see what happens. Obviously, if it doesn't, explode, beat earnings, it will come back down to earth. But it looks great. Very tight pattern. Looks like it's breaking out into the earnings release. Very good technical pattern. And it seems like, it's at all-time highs. So it seems like it's going to go higher at this point. Amazon had a nice two-day move. We were talking about at 250, back to 260, broke a descending channel. That seems to be the pattern, guys, where, you buy the polls and you get 2 days up move, and then it's some more back and fill, some more digestion. And, all these people, everybody, I feel like, gets very turned around the second we have a little bit of a downtick and you get some weakness across the board. And all it is a hiccup and a little break, and they do find some composure. And then we move back to the uptrend. And I think that's where you have to keep thinking for the next month. We obviously are in earnings. We're getting in the thick of earnings next week. It starts. But overall, everything to me looks good. I'm not paying up for anything. But at the same time, the best in breed on pullbacks, whether it's to 20 and 50 day, I feel like I'm broken record. I'm going to continue to buy. Some interesting stocks. I know SRPT was a very good stock on, I believe it was Wednesday. Thursday pulled in a little bit. Look at smaller time frames. I'm going to try to get involved. If it gets back down to 35, I think that's probably a fair level to maybe get it back involved on the long side. It still needs digestion across the board. I wouldn't be too active in it either way. Netflix, unbelievable squeeze. I think it's up a little bit this morning. It's basically, if it's above 67 this morning, 67.20, it's in that gap, and that gap, is a big gap, almost to 80. So not sure it gets there the way you want to. I'd love to see a back end fill to be able to get an opportunity to buy it on the cheap, or $2, $3, $4 pull-in. Not sure it's going to happen. I'm still going to be patient. I'm not going to pay up here. I feel like I missed the trade, and now I'm just going to have to wait for my opportunity, and at this point not chase it. Commodities still lagging overall. OIH still trading below its 200-day, so not really a whole lot to talk about. But yesterday I took a stab at Schlumberger. I'm long X, around the 1920 level. Still looks okay, but again, it's a bottoming pattern. It's different type of pattern. For slow movers out there, we were talking about 40 against 9 or 950. Back up to 10. It looks like it's going to move back up to 1050 in the short term. Something to keep an eye on at minimum, but overall not a whole lot to talk about. I'm still in the mode, guys. We're grinding higher, but I don't think there's going to be explosion. I think you just have to really, grind it out a little bit, whether you like it or not. I think we continue to get rotation, and you just got to be on top of it. I am pretty surprised. I was talking about the home builders, and I know Scott was talking about XHB, the home builder index on the pullback. I did not expect Len to move up this fast out of that pattern. Ryland, much of the same. Toll, much of the same. They are the strongest sector. And again, you wait for the pullback and you blink, it seems like it's over. That's the pattern right now we're getting. So you have to be on top of your game. You got to understand where you're looking, and you got to respect the patterns that are happening. On some side notes, eBay to me still looks good. Not giving you a whole lot of day trades in there, but still looks good right at highs. Expedia, another stock that still looks good. Priceline we were talking about for a few days and got a lot of people shaking out, myself included. I got back in yesterday and still looks good. Looks like it's back up to, moving back up to the 650 level in the short term. So certainly keep it on the radar, and we'll go from there. I know the VIX split today. To me, that's an opportunity to short regardless. I don't know exactly what it split at. I put some short on. It's just, again, it's just a vehicle to, it eventually goes to zero and then they split it again. So keep that on the mind. Keep that on the radar. I've seen it before. You probably get a 2 or 3 day trade in that type of idea, as long as the market obviously just stays put and really doesn't crack here, which again does not seem like it should or will. TLTs, I've been talking about that on the pullback, meaning on the rally, to look for opportunities to short, because I think eventually money will start, from a macro sense, money will start coming out of the bonds, and it seems like it's happening. I don't know if there's going to give you a minute-by-minute trade. I'm personally not even putting it in the day trade. It's just too hard to watch. But to me, it looks like it's rounding, and it looks like it's going to eventually go lower. It definitely made a lower high, which from a macro sense, and you can just see the bars right here. That is technically means it should come down a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I have some puts also, but I think money, as time goes on into the next year, will come out of the bonds, will come into the equity tape. So overall, guys, I'm certainly bullish. I'm still trying to get long, but Amazon probably needs a day break. Google, I think, is ready. I do think it could have a nice move, even if it was up to yesterday. Priceline, I think, will probably have some follow through. Apple, again, back and forth. Make sure you're taking trades. I'm still taking trades in this tape, and I think it's important that you do such. And we'll go from there. And remember, I don't know if we do have our super conference in New York City this weekend. It's the first one. So if you're in the city, if you're in the tri-state area, I would recommend coming. I think it's going to be very informative, certainly inspirational. You can find it on our website. And either way, good luck today, and I'll talk to you later.
Hi, I'm Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer for T3 Live, and I would like to invite you to join us on October 6th and 7th in New York City for our first annual T3 Live Active Trader Super Conference. The 2-day event will focus on what we believe to be the 5 keys to being a successful trader. We will teach you the strategies, tactics, and mindset we take to the market every single day, and you will leave the Super Conference with a personal step-by-step success blueprint. Visit t3live.com and click on the education tab on the top of the page and watch preview videos of this event. Seats will fill up quickly, so be sure to reserve yours today. My colleagues and I look forward to meeting you. Have a great day.